This is Roger Strugoff with SysCon TV, day 2 of CloudEXPO in June 2017 in New York, and we're sitting with Swen Conrad with Ocean9. Sven, welcome. And you were telling me before, like you live at the intersection of enterprise workloads and the cloud, and in particular one sort of type. Tell everyone what you do and why are you here?
All right, thanks Roger, thanks for the intro. Yeah, so as Roger said, we do live at the intersection of enterprise workloads and public cloud, and with a focus on SAP workloads, and focus on SAP out of the reasons that SAP are amongst the most powerful but also somewhat challenging workloads out there to take into public cloud. And there's a little bit of a misconception that you shouldn't move these workloads quite yet. And it is a prudent thing to start with easy workloads, but we have really built a layer and really solved the challenges that are coming with these workloads. And used public cloud in a cloud-native fashion, really taking advantage of the capabilities that are built into public clouds, and not just taking them to host SAP, but to really give SAP, basically we call it the reborn SAP in the public cloud. We give them cloud-native capabilities like scalability, elasticity, high availability, even in cost-neutral fashions if you rely on clustered backups. And I'll leave it at this point.
Well, if you're a major enterprise IT house and you're dependent to a large degree on SAP, so avoiding the hard work, you're not really going to accomplish anything. So you're saying just go for it because you're reliant on SAP. It's time for it to, take on the hard work now, and you'll be happy later, I think.
Yeah, the hard work actually, we make it easy work. It's very easy, but cloud is really here to stay. And I hear, even at this show, I hear a lot about now composable infrastructure on premises, and there's some merit to it if you have existing infrastructure, but it will not live up to the capabilities of public cloud. And I tell you why, because you don't know, later today in the afternoon I have a session about the known unknown of big data. You really don't know what's going to face you in the next year or several years ahead, or even days and months ahead with our volatile economics and our the digital business transformation. You really don't know where any company is heading anymore. And I've spoken to many customers where even the most solid and most respected firms in this world really don't know what's happening around digital transformation, are being upset. So you need to really get out of this infrastructure game. I'm living here in Hell's Kitchen in New York in my hotel. There's this old company where Ogilvy is actually now in there. It used to be a factory, and I wrote on the placard, this factory building, built in 1911, they had their own power plant in there. Who would have their own power plant today? And it's the same thing we are going through with cloud. And go step by step, but do not shy away from SAP workloads. Firms like Ocean9, and we are somewhat unique, we are quite unique in the market, we can take care of the heavy plumbing in between, and then you can build on top, because we provision these SAP systems into customers' cloud accounts in an open fashion, and you can take these configurations, you can learn from them, and you can extend them, you can build your digital transformation on top.
I think it's been 12 years now since this book called The Big Switch by Nicholas Carr was published, and that's exactly what he talked about. He said that everybody used to have their own power plant. Yeah. They generate the electricity locally. They had their own water systems. You wouldn't think of doing that anymore, and eventually. The analogy is not perfect. I think the cloud is not really water or electricity, but again, the actual underlying infrastructure of it is something that's increasingly difficult and inefficient. You try to do it on your own. So now is the time. I think you're saying now is the time to go ahead. Don't be afraid. You're there to help people out, make that big switch for them.
Correct. Yeah, no, and again, the other analogy or the other way of explaining it is this notion of assemble to order. IT was really geared to build to order, and we wrote these long spec sheets and 60 pages, and it was like words handed over to IT. I was personally never a fan of it. I would always insist on having a business analyst locked into my IT war rooms and say, this business analyst is not leaving my side, because he is my dictionary of everything I need to know about this business unit. I don't want to have stuff written in a spec sheet where people just to be done write something down, and at the end we all wonder why these systems don't meet requirements. So you have to go out of this model, build to order, just assemble, and there's also this big saying now, experimentation is the new planning. So we have to go away from this mode that we try to plan out infrastructure or consumption or usage patterns years ahead and then provision for 3 or 4 years out. Things change, and we need IT models where you can experiment, that enable the experimentation, and then something sticks, a new digital process. You see, wow, my consumers really like this. And if that happens, you want to scale it up immediately. You cannot wait for an infrastructure order to take that to scale, or you build in a B2B scenario for your any division, and this division embraces it and loves this solution. Let it be an analytics solution for internal use, they love it. Now suddenly all the divisions say, I'm on it. All it should take is a week or 2 to roll out. We can provision SAP systems in minutes. What will take the most is the coordination, the communication, a little onboarding training. That'll take a few days, and I would spend my time on that. But overall, then rolling out another division should be done in a week, 2, maybe maximum 4 weeks. But infrastructure should not be a bottleneck to it whatsoever, period.
Yeah, you're sitting around, you're in an SAP shop, and you're wondering, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? He has the answer. How do they find you online at Ocean9?
So they find us at www.ocean9.io. I do want to point out we are not related to, there's still somewhat more popular people at Oceans11. Okay. No relation whatsoever, but we have a very driving DNA like those guys.
So if you want to meet George Clooney or Brad Pitt, you can't do it through him. But he's going to solve your problems if you have anything to do with SAP and you really need to get to the cloud. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for watching. For Syscon TV, this is Roger Struckhoff.